Welcome to the Guide of Ashes of the Dam. For your loadout, I recommend any weapon of your choice, Healing Aura or Ether Shroud for your field upgrade, Stims for your tactical, and Molotovs for your lethals. Gums I recommend are On the House, Phoenix Up, Shields Up, Idolize, and Cashback. First, you're going to want to open this room at spawn, melee the grate, and pick up Ted's head and then put Ted's head in Tessie. You can go either way, but I recommend going to the lake because there's a serum part you need here. Activate the power pump and flip the switch. In this area, you can find a jar of spores right under the kitchen sink right here. Come over to this little broken shed and interact with this trophy. This is for a side Easter egg, but we need the tomahawk from it. Go over to this stump and pick it up. Move over to Ashwood and turn the power on the same way you turn the power on for the lake. Once the power is on here, you can do your first upgrade for Tessie. Drive Tessie into the garage and go to the build table and hold interact. You now have Pack-a-Punch unlocked. Drive over to farm after this and turn the power on there also. This is done the same way as the other places. Go to the dead horse outside of farm and place the jar of spores on the horse and come back in 3 rounds and pick up the item that's there. Now come into the barn and throw the tomahawk that you got from the lake at the zombie's right foot, and if you hit it, the foot should fall off. Now get a Molotov and you have to throw the Molotov exactly on the foot. If the foot doesn't turn into bones right away, you miss and you'll have to throw another one. If you get a Ravager special round, go to one of the 3 saw traps around the map. There's one in farm, one in Ashwood, and one in exit 115. Kill a Ravager with a trap and its eyes should drop. Head over to exit 115 and stay in the diner till you kill the cook with the freezer key that drops from it. Once you get the freezer key, interact with this freezer and pick up the abomination heads. Head back to Ashwood with Tessie. If you don't have Tessie, you could teleport Tessie to you with this panel or stand on this pad to teleport to Tessie. Put Tessie in the garage and go over to the build table and put the second upgrade on Tessie. Drive Tessie to the fog lanes and you should see a purple pod like this in some of them. Shoot the pods with Tessie's beam and it should drop a husk. Pick it up. Head back to spawn and take a look at this pod right here. Whoa, it's Mecha Klaus. Kill him and then grab the chip that he drops. Head back to Ashwood and put the chip into Klaus's cage. It will install something, and once it says update requires restart, you will need to throw 2 stuns into his cage back to back and he will wake up and he will follow you. Go all the way to the Cosmodrome and place him right in front of this machine. He will stomp and then you will have to interact with it. This will start a scan where the person who has claws active will need to stand in the red circle till the scan is over. If someone else is in the red circle with you, the scan will not progress. Once the scan is over, grab the tube and take Tessie back over to the lake. You can't use the jump pads during this step, so take Tessie. Place the canister into the lake's power pump and wait till the bar on the side of the screen says it's full and then pick it back up. Go over to Ashwood and do the same thing in that power pump. Once it is full, head over to Van Dorm Farm and then put the canister into the pump. Once it is full, head to the basement of farm and interact with the strange cube down there and the essence will go into it. At this point, you will need to take the launch pad to and from spawn back and forth to see the 3 symbols on the roof of farm. There's one on the barn, one on the house, and one on the building here. Take note of these symbols and head back to the basement and put the symbols into the 3 sides. Not every side has all the symbols, so you will need to go around each side and find the one that you have. Once you have all 3 in, interact with the eye, and if correct, you should get the Necro Fluid Gauntlet. You will need to shoot these green orbs with the gauntlet and press reload to bring the orbs in. Once you bring them all in, you could leave. Get Wisp T and then head back to Ashwood and have the Wisp fly into the mirror. Then shoot the gauntlet at the mirror and press reload, and the mirror should break and drop powder. At this point, if you are below round 16, you could attempt the next step, but you might need a part from a bear. To get the part from the bear, get a bear to spawn on round 16 and get Tessie to kill the bear with Tessie's beam, and it should drop the last serum part. Go to the Cosmodrome in Yuri's workshop and interact with the powder on the table, and 3 ciphers should appear on the board with all your items on the table. On screen are the Pigpen ciphers solved with each item that corresponds to that cipher. Once you have your 3 items figured out, interact with the 3 items from top to bottom on the board, and if you did it right, there should be purple smoke coming from the beaker bottle. If you did it wrong, you'll need to end the round and try again. Interact with the table and the room should fill with purple smoke and you will be in a little lockdown. The person who has started will also be stuck around 75 to 65 health. Kill all the zombies and the room should fill up with a thick purple smoke, and then you'll hear the clock go off and then you can leave. You will now need to find 3 different keys in 3 different areas in the fog. These keys all have 3 spawns. Make sure you have Tessie with you at all times because each key has a different effect. The green one makes it so you can't run with it. The orange key makes it so you can't regen and you lose some health. And the yellow key forces your melee out. The first location is in the Terminus Bone going towards farm from Ashwood. First location is in this blue container glowing green. The second is in this window. The last one is in this corner below the boat. Shoot the gauntlet at it and reload. The key should come to you and you can pick it up. Hop into Tessie and then drive it back to Ashwood and then go up the zip line and place the key into the floating rock. The next key location is in the fog going towards exit 115. First spawn can be in the back of the jaw of this dinosaur skull here. The second location can be found in the tooth of the dinosaur skull up here. This one could be a little difficult to see. And the last one is behind this Janus Towers truck. Once you find it, shoot the gauntlet and reload and it should come to you. Hop into Tessie and then go back to the floating rock to put the key into it. The last key is in the fog going towards the Cosmodrome from Ashwood. This one is glowing yellow. The first one is right by these wood planks above. The second one is on top of the building right here. And the last one will be on this fallen pylon. Shoot the gauntlet and reload Ashwood and pick it back up. Once you have it picked up, go into Tessie, drive back to Ashwood and place the key in the rock, and you will get a mid-game cutscene. After the cutscene, you will get the last upgrade part for Tessie, which is the DG2 turret, and you'll have to upgrade it in the garage again. Once you have Tessie upgraded, you will need to shoot the DG2 turret at the clock tower, and it should start to glow purple. Shoot the gauntlet at one of the clocks and press reload. You should start to glow purple. If you have a friend in the game and they also have a gauntlet from the mystery box, they could shoot a different clock with the gauntlets and reload, and they will also turn purple. You will need to be quick because the purple can run out after some time. Go to the Cosmodrome and shoot 2 purple shots at the spinning satellites, 1 at each, and they will slow down and turn purple. The TVs in this room will be on, and on the right, you will have more pigpen ciphers that are rotating on the screen. There are 4 different words you could get. On screen are 4 words with the corresponding cipher symbols. Once you figure out what you have, you will have to shoot each number that corresponds with the letter that you have on screen as they are rotating. You lock them in with the red button on the screen by shooting it. Once you put the word in and it's correct, the rocket will now launch and you have set the souls free from the Cosmodrome. If you get the word wrong, you have to flip the round and then try again. You will now need to wait a few rounds till the lightning spawns above the diner, but if you're on solo or 2 players, it might spawn quicker. Once it does spawn, save the round and shoot the clock tower again with the DG2 and use the gauntlets to turn purple. Have your friend bring Tessie over to the diner and you will have to bring the purple glow to the diner using the launch pad. You'll need Tessie in a second and the purple can run out, so be quick. Once you get to the diner, summon Klaus to you and then shoot the purple charge at the clock above the mechanic shop. The lightning will then freeze and you'll have 1 minute to do the next step. Bring Klaus down to the mechanic and place Klaus right next to him, and Klaus should stomp and he should wake up. Bring him to the yellow lightning and he should freeze. Crash Tessie in the back of this red truck and the back should open. The trucker will then wake up and you will need to bring him to the pink lightning and he will freeze. Next, go into the diner and melee this cash register with melee macchiato and the waitress should wake up. Bring her to the purple lightning above the diner and she will freeze and the frozen time will end. If you only get 1 out of 3 or 2 out of 3, it's okay. Just shoot the clock with the purple charge again next round and do the remaining ones. You have now set the souls at the diner free. End the round and shoot the DG2 at the clock tower again and shoot your gauntlet and get the purple charge. Go over to the farm and look at the clock in the dining room. On the floor are Roman numerals. Stand on what hour hand that says on the clock. Once you're standing on that number, wait till the skeleton on the end of the table starts to look right at you and his eyes start glowing red. Shoot the charge at the skeleton's head at the end of the table and the souls should spawn above the table and fly up. You will now need to find 4 ritual items around the farm. The first one is in a teddy bear head on the bunk bed upstairs. Then go to the basement and the chalice will be in the bathtub. Then the hockey mask will be upstairs in the barn. And the final piece, the razor blade, is in the shed on the table. Once you have all 4, get ready for a protection phase. Get monkey bombs if possible. Place them down on the red circles around the farm and interact with the last item you place down and the ritual will start. You will need to protect all 4 items for a minute. Once that ritual is done, you have set the souls at Van Darm's farm free. If you fail, you will have to flip the round and then one of the item circles will be glowing red instead of yellow. This will be a soul box and will go yellow when it's filled. Interact with it and the defense will start again. You could use the trap for help as well. End the round once more and shoot the DG2 at the clock and get the purple on the gauntlet and head over to the lake and run over to the docks quickly. There will be a wisp that you'll need to interact first. Then the projector will now be going crazy and you'll need to shoot the purple charge at the projector and it will quickly give you 4 locations that you'll need to remember in the order that you get. The 4 locations are front of the house, boathouse, and the trophy shed. Once you have your order, there'll be a film reel in each corresponding area. The front of the house reel is on the 2nd floor near the power switch. The back of the house reel is under these stairs. The boathouse reel is on this beam up here, and the trophy shed reel is on this shelf. Shoot the reels with the gauntlet in the corresponding order, but don't reload just in case because it can mess the step up. When you shoot the correct one, it will play a sound cue. If you didn't hear the sound cue, try shooting it again. If you get it wrong, you'll get a jump scare. If you get the jump scare, you need to end the round, and you could also shoot the purple charge back at the projector again just to check the order again. You don't have to do it. If you shoot all 4 in the correct order, the box upstairs can be opened and you'll need to call in Klaus and place him in front of the box and he will pick up the item inside and then he will lead you towards the docks. At this point, when he is done talking, you can interact with Klaus and start to vote for the boss fight. But don't do this yet because the boss fight is very strong and tanky, so I'm going to help you set up. Getting ready for the boss. The perks I recommend are Juggernog, Speed Cola, Stamina, Quick Revive, PhD, and Double Tap. I recommend at least a purple rarity weapon, but definitely get a gold weapon if possible. Weapon is based on choice, but get something that is long range. Keep them double packed to buy ammo. You could get tier 2 armor, but I strongly recommend tier 3 because this boss does a lot of damage in the later stages. A score streak I recommend is the hand cannon as it does a lot of damage to the Zersa bears. Self-revives and armor plates can be bought from the crafting table, same as the hand cannon. And make sure you have the gobblegums you want for the boss fight. Before starting the boss fight, get Tessie and bring it over to the lake facing spawn. Once you are ready, interact with Klaus and vote for the boss fight. Before you actually head into the boss, you'll have to drive around the map collecting souls. You will need to wait a bit before the souls spawn. You will hear quotes from Klaus and your character talking and some weird sounds. Once you see the souls right by the exit towards spawn show up, you can start. Each area will have 3 souls. The first area will have the soul right at the start, then you have to make a left and then a hard right. If you grab grab one in the wrong order or miss one, you'll hear the clock sound and you will have to flip around and vote again with Klaus. After you get the first 3, drive through spawn like I'm doing and follow where I'm driving. You'll need to pick up another 3 towards the farm and then keep driving past farm and then go towards Ashwood. Once you get to the terminus boat, go above it and you should see one and have to do a very hard right to get to the next one. If you miss one, this is okay. Just back up to hit it. Just don't go to the next one without getting this one. Then get the last one for this area and drive into Ashwood, but make a hard right and go back towards the lake. Grab the last 3 like I'm doing, and once you grab the last one, you'll be sent into the boss fight. Boss fight. This boss is very difficult. This boss is constantly shooting rockets at you that does tons of damage, and you have to be constantly on your feet. Playing with others, try and stay away from them as much as possible because the rockets will destroy you guys. For the first stage, we'll have to run around and shoot his weak spot, which is the glowing red mouth. After a bit of damage to him, he will start spinning fast like a Beyblade and become immune to damage. You'll have to wait a bit and he will spawn a light beam. If it doesn't spawn in, try shooting him with the DG2. You will need to drive Tessie into the light beam and then boost into the boss. This will cause the immunity to go away and you can shoot the yellow spot on its bottom till it goes away. This will cause it to start spinning again. Wait again for the light beam to spawn and drive Tessie into it and then use Tessie to boost into the boss. Shoot the yellow spot again, and if you do enough damage, you'll go to the next stage. A max ammo and a max armor will spawn. For the next stage, it will pretty much be the same thing except he will start spinning zombies at you. He will still be doing the rockets, so keep moving as much as possible. Keep shooting his weak points as much as possible, and once he starts spinning again, get the light beam and drive into the boss and keep damaging the weak points until the boss goes to the next stage. You'll once again get another max ammo and max armor. For the final stage, it will be the same thing again, but he will start charging a purple beam that does a lot of damage. If he's shooting the beam at you, hide behind a wall or a beam if possible. You could ram the boss with Tessie while he's charging up or shooting his beam to cancel it. The beam doesn't do that much damage if you're in Tessie. Keep doing damage and he will start spinning more. The light beam and keep ramming him and shooting the weak point as much as possible. The light beam spawns more often, so keep ramming him as much as possible and do a lot of damage to the bottom of him. And congratulations, you just beat the Ashes of the Damned Easter egg. Yay!